Now we're good. I hope people can rejoin.
What happened here? I thought we had all
Here,
this.
let me see your phone.
I don't know what happened.
Just give it to me. So, yeah, we're.
I don't know what's going on up there.
And we should be live.
Okay. I don't know if you want to turn the volume down. I've turned the volume down on that. Is it going
Well,
again?
I'm. Yeah, I messed it up. I didn't know that you had to change the orientation. Now there it is. Gosh dang your phone, dude. All right. So we're good now.
Okay.
I had some technical difficulties. I didn't know. I thought you could just rotate the phone to the side, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, we're good now. We can see and hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. So shoot your questions and we'll talk about whatever. I'll be here for a few hours. What are you doing?
I don't know. I was going to do it on the TV, but
we don't need the television.
all right. All right.
And I'm going to just be looking at the phone to see what people are saying.
And I'll be looking at his phone.
The chair's seen some years. Yeah.
This is a judge's chair from the state of Arizona. It was given to me. It says right on the bottom, a district court.
Does it say what judge or something?
Don't say what judge. It's just it was given to me from the county or something. Somebody give it to me. I just love this chair. It's got a rake to it.
Yeah, it did set straight. Now it leans because something underneath it's been busted. And anyway, from Finland, Miami, Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains.
Oh, that's a beautiful place. Smoky Mountains are beautiful. Dollywood.
Watching from Myrtle Beach. It's awesome. What's going on, Bryant? Yeah, people from all over the country. Turn up your volume. Can you guys hear us all right? Just let me know if you guys can hear us all right. Let me see that remote.
Oh, the remote.
All right. Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay. I don't know.
There. Click on that. That ain't right. Let me see that.
I don't know, man. Ever since you switched it, it don't know what to do. You got to go back. No. Oh, maybe you got to go forward.
They're live now.
That live. Yeah.
What a cluster. There.
That's the one.
Can it see the chat?
Yeah, it should scroll up. Yeah, successfully connected.
Oh my gosh. Well, there it is on the television. Trying to get this on the television. But whatever. Okay. So I'm just going through and answering questions here. Dollywood's about a 15-minute drive from me. Yeah, we went to me and Dad went to Dollywood one time.
That's when Travis started loving Dodge Cummins.
Yeah, we took a long trip through Illinois down from Tennessee and Kentucky, and we went to Dollywood, and it was cool. Some people say we're quiet. Some people say they can hear us. I don't know. Have to turn up your volume. Some people can hear us. Some can't.
This don't turn up, does it?
No.
Oh.
When's the next video for the total Dodge? Well, there is another video on it. I'm putting it together. It'll be, I usually put a video out once every, I don't know, 8 to 10 days. So I don't know how long the first video's been out, like 3. So you guys are gonna have to wait probably another week for it. But we're working on it and other things. And I got other things in the works too for the summer, because it's a lot of the flying drives that we have to do. Because I want to do more flying drives this year. And since we're already in the good weather in the winter, everywhere else is cold. So we either have to stay really far south or wait till the summer to do flying drives on vehicles when the weather's better. That's why we just did that one in the Pontiac in San Antonio. It's south. The weather's decent. People don't like the VP44 electrical mess compared to the 12 valve, but I love my 24 valve. Yeah, everybody loves their 24 valve until they start running bad, and then like they run great and they'll go a lot of miles, but I think the problems are harder to fix and more expensive with electronic injection pumps and everything. And yeah, they're just different than a P pump.
For the changeouts, people love that. Well, the rotary and the other one, because it don't take nothing to get them to start and run. Nothing.
Yeah. And you don't need any.
If an H-bomb hits, it'll still run.
Yeah. Let's see. For a pulley that's making a noise because of a bearing, should I buy a new pulley or attempt to replace the bearing? Well, I don't know. You got to find where the squeak is. But sometimes it's the bearing.
I see a lot of questions up there.
Well, if I can't hardly read them from here, they're too tiny. I don't know. Is there a way to make that chat bigger on the screen?
No.
I can't read the questions from there.
It's
What?
cold. That's why you're inside. No.
No, yeah, we're just inside just because.
It's 70. No, it's 80, 75 or 80 degrees today.
Well, that temperature thing on the wall says 75.
That says 72.
Yeah, it's in the 70s here. It's not cold here. I can walk outside like this and be fine. How's those boots doing so far? So, I did a sponsorship for Brunt. These
75.
Boots, yeah, it's 75. But they sent me these boots and everything. I really did need a new pair, and I've been wearing them. I got some comments in the video because they saw me wear the boots in the ad, but not in the video. And it's because the video was filmed out of time. I filmed the whole video and then I filmed the ad. But I'm wearing the boots now because my boots were really toast.
Minus 20 here in British Columbia.
Minus 20?
Well,
is that Celsius or something?
Yeah, Celsius.
That's got to be Celsius.
The Inevitable Jim. What's up, Inevitable Jim?
Greetings from Slovakia. What was your first project together? Our first project was that 50 GMC that you see in the background all the time that's right next to everything I work on. That was our first project together. That was a 50 GMC that we did. I bought that a few weeks before I turned 12, but it didn't look like that at all. It was
I thought that would help the internet.
Here we go.
What happened?
Well, we lost connection.
Oh, are you on our internet?
Yeah, but I got off it.
Yeah, get off that internet.
This is getting aggravating with these problems.
Yeah, I had to completely sign off our internet. It was messing up.
We should be back, guys. Here we go. Yeah, we're back. Well, I don't know what you guys heard or what you didn't hear, so you know, if you didn't hear anything we had to say, then ask again.
It says it's back up.
Yeah. I was on bad internet. Sorry.
It says I got you. Yeah. Hey, finally. Yeah, it's going. Had to turn off our internet. We've got T-Mobile and it never gives us any trouble, but
We're too
man,
far from the modem out here.
maybe. Yeah. Good day from Australia. Look, Australia's an interesting place.
Yeah, we get a lot of viewers from the UK, Australia, Europe, Germany, Brazil, a lot. South Africa.
One thing I was curious about for folks in Australia, if you bring a car in, is it not allowed to be modified at all? Does it have to be factory exact? I was just curious. I know every country has its own set of rules. West Virginia, Norway, Canada.
Hey Travis, did you find a donor car for your project? No, still looking for a donor car for the 650 horsepower Cummins build. My dad almost found one. He did find one. He was at a car part swap meet last Sunday, and it was like a 50 Buick. It was cool, really cool. But I mean, it was a pile. It didn't have a title. Didn't I mean windows were broke out. It needed everything, which I don't care because I'm just going to put it on that frame anyway. But he still wanted $4,000 for it, which was too much. So I had to pass. Almost had a body though, almost, but.
Somebody asked if I had a lady friend.
You
I've
have a
been
lady-
married 37 years.
Yeah, my dad's had the same, if you want to call it a lady friend, for 37 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't switch halfway through the game. I've stayed with the same one.
They're actually high school sweethearts.
Yeah, been together all of our lives. She was 14, I was 15.
What do you think of a 41 Chevy Sedan Deluxe? Been sitting 45 years.
That's cool.
45 Chevy Sedan Deluxe. Is that a sedan? Is that a truck version or a car sedan delivery? But those are cool. The sedan deliveries are cool. The press you got from Michigan is bad, eh? The press well, we got a lot of views from it. Is that's what you mean by press? Yeah, that video did all. That's the best performing video on the channel.
Those trucks were rough.
One guy said in Belgium you can't modify a lot. Yeah, as working on cars and stuff, and then learning about other countries, man, other countries' rules are really strict on cars. Really strict. It's almost like they hate them.
If you upgrade, can you modify? If you upgrade it like single line brakes to dual line brakes, can you modify it that way, or does it have to be inspected?
It just seems like every other world government hates cars, and they just want them gone.
We can bring in modified. We can modify. Oh,
it's like they want to go back to horse and buggy.
Oh my gosh, a '64 Falcon with a 429. Wow. Oh, hello from Tucson.
Every state in Australia has different rules. We can bring in modifieds. We can modify stuff, but most mods need to be signed off by an engineer. Wow. See, that's crazy. I've never even heard of that here. You can drive the craziest thing you've ever seen on the roads here, and nobody's checking anything. Some states have state inspections, and some states don't.
The bottom line is the way everybody looks at it is if it's got insurance on it, it's kind of up to you to whether you're going to get it there or not. That's kind of the way it is for the most part. Most all states here require insurance.
Think you will have your modified Cummins ready for the Duct Tape Jags 2025? Yeah, I can do it by then. If I can find a body, the project can get moving. As soon as I get that, things will start rolling pretty fast. But I mean, I'm just been at a standstill. I know I'm gonna have to shorten the frame, but I can't do that until I get a body. You know, you got to know your measurements.
Somebody asked about the old International. You know what? I thought about selling it, but I kind of like it. So no, I have not sold it. It still sits out there, but when I go out there, turn the key on, it always starts. I, that truck's an anomaly. I have no clue as to why that truck would even run. It should have been locked up, filled up with water. No inspection.
Lots of Rams up here in Oregon. Well, I'm
There's,
always looking to buy more Cummins.
there's a bunch in Nebraska if you're interested.
I just looked in Nebraska for them today. Yeah, we don't have state inspections here for cars either in Arizona. Greetings from the Netherlands. I was in my 2024. I was in May of 2024 to Nogales and drive close to I-10. Great to see your videos. That's cool.
International's 46. Jersey. In Finland, we have inspections every year. After 40 years, old car. Every second year. There was I had some Oldsmobile stuff for sale, and gentleman got a hold of me. Just wanted the dash. I was disassembling a 55 Oldsmobile, and what I found was interesting. And this is something I didn't know that people were doing. Obviously, naive. That there was people from other countries that was buying our stuff here, especially in the Southwest, and they would ship it to Long Beach and put it on a container and ship it to their country. I thought that was odd.
For their own projects?
Mm-hmm. I guess I actually put a car up for sale. It was a 56 Buick, and somebody got a hold of me and said, "Hey, do you know your car is for sale in another country?" And I said, "No, I just put it on here." And sure enough, he sent me the link, and there's evidently people that watch what comes up for sale, and they try to broker the deal. And my car was up for sale in another country.
I only had one interaction with another country. I had a really cool 63 or 4. I think it was 64 Caddy.
4.
I had a 63 or 64 Caddy limousine that was just cool, man. All original condition. The original seats were even in good shape. I got it running and driving. Then this was before YouTube. It would have made a great YouTube video. I actually drove it for a little while. It was a limousine. It had a divider window in the middle, and it worked. It had like factory air. It had everything. It was crazy. It's presidential. And I sold that car to a guy in New Zealand, and he had somebody come and pick it up and took it to New Zealand. It's pretty crazy.
Someone asked how many cars I've done. I used to work on them just continually, night and day, night and day, night and day. Probably about 10. And that was when I was working, and I would work all day, and then I'd come home and work up until about 8 o'clock, and then I'd work Saturdays, and then most of the time I'd work on the afternoon and Sunday, not in the morning on Sunday. But it's crazy. I get it. I get car people. I get it. You're just driven because you love them. And most of the cars I got were most everything that I have was bound for the scrapper. Everything that I have was just scrap material. I don't know if they can see the Buick that's sitting. The 55 Buick. I bought it probably 10 years ago, and the guy that I bought it off of, I bought it out of a junkyard, and it was on the concrete to be crushed twice. And then the second time, he just said, no, don't do it. I'll take it home. And that's when I bought it. And everything I have was just, to me, the love of the cars is not crushing them and keeping them and maybe passing. You can't keep everything. I get it. You get too many. But I like it when they go on and they get a second life, and maybe they get enjoyed by another father, another family. whether or not you're doing something with your son or your daughter, it doesn't matter. Um, to me, that's the best thing is don't, because once they're gone, they're gone. Once they get scrapped, they're crushed, they're gone. And I get it. Some cars are too far. I get some of them, frames rotted in half, no floors. Most everything could be brought back. I get it. There's a breakover point to where you don't want to do it, but this 59 was,
They can't see it.
yeah,
It's a 59 Chevy wagon that Dad restored that was literally way even beyond saving. It was so bad. Took him 2.5 years, and it was insane. It was bad. So let's see. Is the KDP really that big of a deal? I don't know. I really don't think so. I guess it becomes a big deal if it blows your engine up, but I don't know. I've had a lot of these trucks, way more than there's ever been on the channel. I've never had one fall out. I've never had it destroy an engine. I don't know. Everybody says it's a huge deal, but I've never had it happen to me. But I guess if it ever did, I'd change my mind.
somebody wants your golden hour clock.
Gabe said, "Is the popcorn ready?" I know Gabe. He's a personal friend of mine. Yeah, I got the popcorn right here. Gabe, come over.
It was a joke. We was going to have a whole bunch of people sitting in the background in chairs.
Yeah,
and we was going to have a
sitting in the
light that says
background.
applause.
Like we were on Jimmy Fallon or something.
So here, this is the extra credit question, and this is for Richard. If anybody knows what this hood ornament is, that's what Richard wanted me to do. Hood ornament?
They don't know Richard.
Don't matter. This is my buddy Richard.
Show what that? To the camera. You can't see it.
You can.
They can't see what that is. Flip it right. Something like so they can see it. Flip it down.
Okay, that's good enough. That's an extra credit question.
What's your due date, Travis? Well, it's not my due date. It's Emily's, and she's due April 5th. Most stuff I buy is ready for scrap. I wish I recorded more, but I started YouTube. I did some wild stuff, had a regular job. Yeah, well, we used like the cars we used to buy before YouTube. That's kind of how we can do what we do on YouTube now, is because actually we cut the cars you see on YouTube are not nearly as bad as the cars we used to work on, if you can actually believe that. Because we were doing like more restoration work for our own personal selves, and we were buying stuff that really was for the scrapper. But I try to buy cars in a little bit better shape now, just because it's so hard to bring them back if they're actually, gutted. It's tough. Thought about doing a tour of your restorations? I actually haven't thought about doing that. I haven't thought about that. People just kind of want to see you getting your butt handed to you.
Suffering.
Yeah, they want to see you suffering. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Pugs. I appreciate that. You always stay with your kids. I was only blessed with one. If I could talk to all fathers, be always there, always be there for your kids. Always be there. That's all you got. That's it. And they grow up fast. Travis is almost 28.
Yeah, I'll be 28 in.
Seems like yesterday he was 17. Seems like 18, 16, 15. Seems like yesterday we was out here in the garage putting his truck together, and he was just little, or 11, 12 years old. And, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I sure know he'd rather be somewhere else, but I think it's better if he's with me. And we stayed and we put it together, and that was his first truck. He drove it when he was 16.
Do you still have the bicycle with the engine? Yeah, I do. Yes, I am an only child. Dad just actually answered that.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone thinking about starting a YouTube channel? Travis would have to answer that. From my part, I've seen that it's very, very hard, very time consuming from what I see, and the editing.
Yeah, because obviously Dad has lots of knowledge, and he's taught me all the knowledge. So we both have knowledge on cars, right? We both know how to work on cars. Dad even more so with his experience. But I'm really the one. I'm the one that brings it to the internet, essentially. Like I was the one to like figure out editing and. Oh wow! Oh
Cruising
wow!
with Kevin.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
$20, Kevin. Thank you. That's awesome. But I was the one to try to bring it to YouTube. So I'm the internet guy or whatever. So like I film everything, I edit everything, I post everything, I make the thumbnails, I do the titles, I do everything in that regard. And if you're starting a YouTube channel, I would just recommend what niche do you want to be in and don't try and reinvent the wheel. Look at what's doing good in that area and just do your own version of it. Don't copycat, but do your own version of it. Like me and Dad do Will It Runs, so does everybody else, but we do it differently because it's father son. We're in the Southwest. Maybe we act differently, we talk differently. We're not stealing people's lines. We're not like trying to, we're not trying to recreate somebody else's video. We're making our own video, but a lot of people do the same kind of work. But what I really do think is different about our channel is the Cummins diesels. Not a lot of people do diesels. That's where you lose a lot of people. Some people will, but a lot less people do diesels. Whoa, Jim sent us $50.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
Jim, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and when Joe came by today, he gave me a pack of diapers.
Did you have him give me any Depends or anything, or just diapers?
He actually got the diapers for you, not the baby.
Oh, okay, well, thank you. Kids do grow up fast, and we grow old. It's very odd that way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. One day you're in the middle of everything, and the next day your house is empty.
Live free kiddo. Yes, I'd say so. I would hope that we are.
Oh, do you plan to do any more videos with Pole Barn?
Actually, I think so.
You gonna answer that? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to plan out some more flying drives for this summer because where these vehicles are that I'm finding, they're in cold country, and I'm not doing it right now. Blood runs too thin to be up in 30-degree, 20-degree weather, so I'm gonna have to do it in the summer. And one of the trucks I found is where close to Dalton, so I think I'll be seeing him this summer, but probably not soon. Travis, you still acquiring vintage appliances? Nah. I mean, here and there if I find something cool, but I think I've graduated. I think I got the appliance thing out of my system, and I like signs and gas pumps and pole signs and gas and oil stuff, gas and oil memorabilia. I really like that kind of stuff.
When is the next video on the tar covered special truck?
It'll be in a week or so. It'll be in
tar
a week
covered.
Or so. Yeah, it's a tar covered. It's a tar baby. It's bad.
You know, the hit and miss, that's very cool. I think on the hit and miss motors, I really like the hit and miss motors.
I do too.
They're not real big out here. There's some people out here, very small group. I think that was more encompasses the Midwest, maybe. That's what I've noticed. It's more in the Midwest, down south. Not so much out here. I don't see it. I like them.
What's your favorite year Cummins? Well, I like everything 89 to 98 and a half. But if you want to talk about the best year for the Cummins, it would have to be the early 98 with the 12 valve and the rear opening door, because that's just cool.
The Rotten Dodge Ram was a great video.
Their rotten Dodge Ram. It was rotten.
That one I was driving, the door wouldn't shut.
Yeah, the door would not shut.
No, the whole thing was rotted down. The door wouldn't shut. I had to lift up on it. It was bad. Blue Sea.
Yeah, hit and miss engines are cool. But I just don't really find them out here. The hit and miss engines I think are really cool. I like those big giant ones. You know, those big hit and miss engines that used to run like water pumps and like oil pumps and machine shops. Those big giant hit and miss motors, those are really cool.
You know, back on the appliances, someone was asking about the appliances. You know, back Travis, he's always had a love of old stuff and the American made stuff, and the those were the good old days. He restored some of them here. And as a matter of fact, that refrigerator, I don't have a clue how that thing just keeps working. It's full. It never stops. That old stuff. And I know there's always questions on whether they draw a lot of amperage. They don't.
Yeah, they're not
They
they don't
don't.
they don't draw a lot of amps.
Mm-mm.
My dad's talking about a fridge I have in my house. I restored like a mid 1950s General Electric fridge, and I use it as my daily fridge. And we use it. I've used it ever since I moved into my house 4 or 5 years ago. Keeps temperature. It always works. I defrost it once every 4 months, and yeah, it's awesome.
Someone asked what a hit and miss motor was. Hit and miss motors was they're small. They make different sizes. Generally, they used them in rural areas, and actually they was built back when I guess everybody was conscious on how much money they were spending. So it turns, and you can hook it up to different things and run different things. It's got a wheel on the front, and it's got a belt on it, and you can run different washing machines, all kinds of stuff you can run with a hit and miss. And
Hit and miss engines were really before
20s, they still use them in other
teens,
countries.
teens and 20s. Hit and miss engines were like the very first iterations of internal combustion engines, where, like a car engine, it hits every other stroke, all right, and it's consistent. A hit and miss engine has governor weights in it where it sets it at a certain RPM, and it'll fire once, and then it'll rotate until it slows down to a certain speed, and then it pops again, and then it'll go again, and it can rotate freely, and then when it slows down, it pops again. That's a hit and miss. You'll hear them. They sound like pop, 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 pop. They have a random sound.
I enjoy them. I like them.
But anyway, let's get on to other questions. I bet you guys would get along great with the Sleeper Dude family. Yeah, my dad actually watches them.
You know what? I just think the world of him.
Yeah,
Boy, you
yeah.
want to see someone that watches out for their family, takes care of their family. It's him.
Yeah.
It's him. Even my wife, because he usually puts his videos out on Saturday. Even my wife sits there and watches, and even me, I'm really surprised at how good the children get along. Uh, but the mom and dad's doing right. They're really watching out for they love their family, and I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah, so they're cool. I kind of hope to have, like, if I have multiple kids, that my family sort of, well, resembles Sleeper Dude's family, and the fact that I'd like to have them all out there, like out there with me doing things, learning. Like, it's cool how he involves them all. Um, Love seeing your old first gen, putting in the work in your videos. Dad has an '89 with a 12 valve. Literally grew up in that truck and have so many memories with it. Yeah, that's the same thing with me. I grew up in my dad's 12 valve. It's still out back. Same thing, same kind of memories.
I can't even get rid of it. I can't sell it. He won't let me. So I just got to pass it on. It's generational.
Yeah. I miss the appliances. I remember when there was like 15 of us sitting in your kitchen listening to oldies and chatting. Oh yeah, that's when I used to do TikTok, and I would do lives on TikTok before YouTube. A lot of you guys don't even know about those days. Are Rick's joints sore after many years of mechanics?
Not really. Not really. It is kind of odd. I don't get up and down as fast as I used to. I got to kind of think about it a little bit, or I got to grab something. I mean, I'm not decrepit. I could still, I could still do it. It's obviously when you grow older, you're going to be the first to know when that kind of stuff happens. I mean, you just got to think about things a little bit more. That's what my dad used to say. Work smarter, not harder. And that's what you have to do. The older you get, you got to compensate in the opposite direction. And to answer your question, yes, it does sometimes.
Somebody else asked, like a car that got away that we wish we had or that we didn't buy.
No.
I mean, there's a couple of them.
Oh, there's one.
What, that 59?
I screwed up.
Yeah. There's two cars. There's one car that I wished I'd have bought that I didn't buy, and then there's one vehicle that I sold that I wished I kind of wouldn't have sold. So there's two of those there. And the first one, the one that we should have bought, back years ago.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Years ago, well, we got to talk about
All
it.
right.
It's whatever. I mean, it's gone
Yeah,
now.
I know it. I know it.
I went to go buy an Elfrida, a 50 or 51 Buick that was really cool. I was probably like 17. This was 10 years ago now. This was 10 years ago, and I went to go buy this car, and it was in his yard, and then he said, "Hey, I got this other car," and it was a white '59 Cadillac that needed some work, but it was really clean '59 Cadillac. I think it was a two-door, and he's like, "I want $5,000 for it," and even then, I knew that was a good price. I was like, "That's a good price," but I didn't buy it, and Dad didn't buy it, and
No, I was getting ready to buy it, and there was a guy coming down from Tucson, and he walked right in the door and handed him the $5,000. I didn't even get a chance to second. I didn't even know this guy was coming down. And man, he come in that door and handed him the $5,000, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, so we missed out on that '59 Cadillac, and I see garbage '59 Caddies for sale.
This car was clean,
and it was a clean car, but I see junkers for sale for 18 to 20 grand. I mean, seriously, there's one on Facebook right now. I think it's on Facebook as we speak, and it's like 18.5, and it's a project. It's a dump. It's crazy. But this car was actually clean. We should have bought that.
At the end, don't let me forget. At the end, I'll tell you what the hood ornament is.
Oh yeah.
And it's not an Oldsmobile, and it's not a Chevy. Either one. I guarantee you've never seen one. I guarantee it. Did that old base? Oh, the Bay City.
Did that Bay City crane ever sell? No. So I don't know yet. I actually, so I can't believe that video didn't do real well. I mean, that video was awesome. That was every bit. It was like Diesel Creek, man. It was a great video, and I thought that thing was so cool. And he's selling his business, and what's happening with the crane is up in the air. Whether the new owners of the business are going to want the crane, whether they're going to want to sell it, or I don't think they want it. That's what Daryl told me. It's the guy that's selling the business, and I don't think they want the crane. And I keep asking Daryl every week I see him, and I ask him what's going on with that thing, because if no one else is going to buy it, I mean, it's big. It's big, 30 tons. And if no one else steps up to buy it, I'm not going to let that business that's buying it, because they come in there and they buy this business thinking they're going to turn it into the next Microsoft, and then they're going to see that old thing there, and they're going to scrap it. And just to not let them have it, I'd buy it.
It's an OSHA violation.
I don't know what I'd do with it or what, but I would buy it just to save it. I mean, that's all. I would buy it just to save it.
It's not a Packard.
Yeah.
Not a Packard. Next guess. It's interesting.
Oh, they want to see the emblem again.
Oh.
Some people just got here. My dad's saying, guess this hood emblem. Did the black El Camino sell? No.
No, it's still out in the yard.
Let me see it.
You do it. Don't you drop it.
Here, hold that. So what is this hood ornament?
Show them the back.
Ooh, 55 Pontiac? Nope, not a 55 Pontiac.
Uh-uh.
It's not a Pontiac. It's not a Packard. Any Packard. It's not any Pontiac or any Packard.
Uh-uh. I don't believe you'll ever guess it.
No, it's not a Hudson.
Uh-uh.
Not a Thunderbird.
Uh-uh.
It's not a Studebaker.
Nope.
Let's see, watching from Germany, not from a Chevy. Darn was pretty sure, but oh well, it'll be interesting to learn. It's not a Chevy, but I will say it's close.
Yeah, you're close.
Getting warmer.
That's the closest you're going to be.
Well, I was going to answer somebody. Somebody asked about things selling, like are things selling right now? And you know what? With this business, with the business of selling cars, or like if you put stuff up for sale, sometimes things sell like hotcakes and sometimes things don't. I don't even know why. It's just the way things roll. And right now, things aren't moving super fast. I got 4 or 5 vehicles up for sale, and Dad's got 1 or 2 up for sale, or ones that he would sell. And I've had some nibbles and low ballers and that
Not
kind
Buick.
of garbage. But
you see it? Somebody said it.
Yeah,
It is GMC.
It's GMC, but what years?
What year?
What year or years?
It's very specific.
Not Frazier. But yeah, things aren't really selling real good right now. But they'll pick up. You know, people get their tax returns and they think, and then they're rich and then they spend it.
Hudson Hornet's cool. Got an interesting story on a Hudson Hornet about 10 years ago. Some guy give one away at the car show. He gave away a 40s Cadillac. It was all torn apart. And I couldn't believe it. He gave away a Hudson Hornet. It was a 2-door. Give it away. Guy went over and got it. Matter of fact, I think I know where it's still sitting over in his yard. It is somewhere around the 50s. Linus got it.
55,
Linus
57 GMC, yep.
And Matt Surgison.
58
it's a 55,
GMC. Yeah, wasn't it a
55, 56, 57 GMC hood ornament.
Yep.
That's for Richard. I don't think 58. No, 58 and 59. If you look at them, it's the same. It looks the same, but it's pointed. It don't have the air intakes on the front.
Let's see, you still thinking about buying the blue 60 Chevy? Probably not for a flying drive. So you're
Bruno, Sosa's Garage. Yeah, me and Travis, we try to get now, mind you, it's not always. I don't believe there's a such thing as never having a disagreement, but I've always told Travis, I said, money and cars is never going to come between us. It's not going to happen. Never. Never. Money problems or arguing about stuff like that. I'm not going to lose a relationship over money or a car. Not going to happen.
But yeah, sometimes the car's on the channel, sometimes they're dad's, sometimes they're mine. You know, sometimes they're not even ours. Sometimes we go on people's property to do will it runs. You know.
Oh yes, could only be a woman come between you. I suspect you're talking about wives. So far, no problems there, none at all. My wife knew what I was. I've done this all my life. She knew what she was getting into when we got married. So I've always done cars. Travis's wife is the same way.
Yeah, Emily knew what she was getting into with the car. I'm working on cars and buying signs and working for myself. She gets it.
We got along real well with Dalton from Pole Barn. He's really nice. He's really nice. He's real down to earth to talk to. And Derek, Vice Grip.
Yeah, Derek.
You know, I wasn't for there again. I don't want to pass judgment, but I met him out at Duct Tape Drags. Very, very, very polite to talk to. I mean, he very polite to talk to. I mean, when you spoke with him, it was just like it's like you knew him all your life. So he was very, very nice. The Inevitable Jim, he's very nice, very, very good to talk to, very good to sit down with, very pleasant. Most car guys are that way. Most car guys that I've met are all. Everybody has their moments, you know. Some people, when they get older, they get, well, crotchety, whatever. But but even then, they're all good. Car guys are all good.
Yeah. Yeah, Dalton's good. We met Dalton and
his son. He's got a fine young man son. Very, very, very polite, very well mannered. Very, very. He's doing a very good job. Very good job having his son involved. Yeah. Very good.
Also had a good conversation with Derek at the Duct Tape Drags last year. Met him then. Talked to him. I haven't met the other guys. Like I've never met Freiberger or Finnegan or who's the guy with Stay Tuned? I never met any of them. Anyway.
Who do you all know in the world of car shows on YouTube?
Oh, who do y'all know in the world of car? Well, we just kind of said we know Dalton personally. I would say we know Dalton. Oh, and Chris from No Nonsense Know How. I like him. He's
Yeah.
cool. He's a smart guy. He's kind of been AWOL because he just had a baby, you know. So he's been putting out. I think he's been putting out videos every 2 weeks instead of sooner, you know. And I think he just bought a property, so he's been dealing with this property that he bought, and but me and Chris are cool. I'll call him sometimes. Me and Chris from No Nonsense Know How. I know, and I can call Dalton anytime. We're cool, but I've never. I probably don't feel that way with any other car YouTuber. I met Derek, but I don't have his number.
We're not expecting any phone calls.
Yeah, we're not expecting any phone calls from Derek or anybody.
Quick story on the chair. Somebody wanted to tell a story on the chair. For those of you that don't know, for 23 years, I worked on equipment. I was a field service technician. I worked on Crown equipment, the electric trucks, the ones that you see in Costco, stuff like that. I used to take care of the school district. One day I was in there. They had a big clearance of stuff that they were getting rid of. They had this chair. Obviously, this chair was in beautiful condition. It was a beautiful burgundy. And they said, "Hey, do you want this chair?" And I looked at it and I said, "Man, that looks like a chair fit for a king." And after I got it home and I got to looking at it, it was actually a judge's chair for the state of Arizona. It's still got the tag on the bottom of it. And I've sat in this chair for 20
years.
23 years. And I just it's my setting chair. It's my thinking chair. It's my thinking. I do a lot of pondering and thinking right here in this chair.
Somebody asked what your career was. What did you do for a
career? Equipment. I was automotive technician originally in the early 80s. From high school, I went to college 2 years. Worked for the Chrysler dealership in 86. Went to the Chevrolet dealership in 87. That was in Southern Illinois. I was born and raised back there. And I moved out here in 86, and my father and I had a series of garages together. And then I stayed here, he left, and I went to work for another garage, and then I went to work, and then after Travis was born, I went to working on forklifts. A very good business to get into, very good thing. I would recommend it for anybody that don't want to get stuck inside of a building to where you're just stuck in there. I was a field service technician for 23 years. I drove a van, and I got to go all different places. So I got to see different people all the time. And most of it was Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, stuff like that, all that electric equipment. That's what I did for 23 years. And then 3 years ago, I just said my company was kind of going south. So I seen the writing on the wall. So I kind of figured, well, I guess this ride's over. So I quit.
Let's see. My dream gas pump is a Wayne 70, the Lighthouse. I want to restore it in Shell Super Colors. Didn't you have a Wayne 70 Lighthouse?
I had a Wayne 70 clock face.
Wayne 70.
Yeah, they call I know exactly what he's talking about. With the top, it looks like a barn, or not, what was a lighthouse. It was called the Lighthouse. I had one. I sold it when Travis got married.
Yeah, Tony Angelo, stay tuned. Yeah, him. Did you guys ever travel outside of the U.S.? No, we've never traveled outside of the United States. I feel comfortable here.
You mean out of Arizona?
Seeing Dalton bring some of his worthless junk to your house was surreal. I never thought I'd see my two favorites get together, especially being from different parts of the country. That's funny. Have you met Cletus? He seems like a fun person. No, I've never met Cletus. I've never been to his Freedom Factory that he's got down in Florida or something. Florida? Yeah. Seems like it'll be a lot of fun, but no, I've never been down there and down that way. Love the diesel videos. Thanks. I you know what? I really do hope that the Cummins content does well, because when I started the channel, I mean, I guess you evolve over time, right? When I started the channel, all I thought that was gonna do well was like it had to be super old, super abandoned, super in the dirt, like in the muck, like I real abandoned stuff. And I was debating whether putting out Cummins content would do good or not because I originally felt that it was too new. Like I was like, well, it's too new. I mean, it's from the 90s. Like that's not real old. Is that going to do? We're known for really, really old stuff. But it's done really good. You know, the Cummins content's done well, and that flying drive really solidified it that people like the Cummins content because that video did stellar. And other Cummins videos, I've done plenty of other Cummins videos, and they've done well, just as good as the pre 1980 stuff. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that because I really like working on Dodge Cummins. I really like, and I've learned a lot, like by making videos on them. I've had to do a lot of stuff on them. I've learned a lot about them.
Someone asked if it was a culture or a shop coming from Illinois to here. Not so much. The weather's beautiful in the wintertime. I know there's probably a lot of people that watching this that are probably from, I don't know, I call it it's called the Southern Illinois, Kentucky. There's a big circle down there, and a lot of I can go down there and I fit in real well. It's more of a culture shock. Things move different out here than they do in the Midwest. They move a lot different. Um, it's just totally different. When I go back home, um, I'm used to living here, and things move a little bit different there. Nothing wrong with it. Good people, super good people. If I know someone that has something for sale in the Midwest, just most of the time I run into people, they're just salt of the earth people, good people to talk to, good people to deal with. Um, just think the world of them, and I think the world of I mean, everybody's there's good and bad everywhere, but I can't say exactly all that because I met a lot of good people in Michigan. I've met good people all over the country. Bad is bad. If you meet people that are bad, I guess it doesn't matter where you meet them; they're no good.
Travis, have you ever had a full-on job or always bought and sold vintage things? I have had multiple like regular jobs, but I have never actually worked full-time for anybody. I've never been hired on as a full-time worker anywhere in my life.
Frito.
No, I was no. Well, they treated me like a full-time worker, but I was actually part-time because I was in college at the time. Yeah, I went to college. You guys know that? I didn't finish it, but I went. Um, but no, I've had regular jobs. I worked for my first job was an indoor trampoline park, like for kids, you know, like jumping on trampolines and dodgeball and whatever. So that was my first job. I worked for Frito-Lay, the chip company, in the warehouse, which was a nightmare to say the least. And then I worked for AutoZone. I did a small stint at Costco. All these places were like part time because I was doing other things, you know, like I had my own thing going. But no, the I've worked for myself probably since 2018, 2019. 2019, I've worked for myself. Like I haven't actually had a job anywhere.
Have you ever been to Bakersfield, California? Yes, I have. It reminds me of Tucson. Augie works on heisters. That's, I think, Heister and Yale, and you work on all types. You know, I would be curious about that if you have software to work on the crowns. That'd be kind of hard. The crowns, a lot of stuff nowadays. You got to be more specific because of the software. You don't have all the stuff to hook into them. How do we deal with negative content comments?
We don't.
You know what? Best thing to do is leave people alone that leave negative comments because it's evident they're very, very miserable people, and just leave them alone. Um, the channel is for people to have a good time, smile. Hopefully, we can make you smile. Maybe go through some of the stuff that we're going through. Obviously, if you work on cars, you're going through the same things. And also with Travis, you know, obviously if you're a father, I'm more of a old school. I like to talk to you face to face. And since you're typing on here, I don't know who you are, so I just keep my mouth shut and just don't say nothing. I don't get involved with it. I believe that I believe you're living in your own misery.
Some guy said, Travis, any stock picks, current stock picks. That's funny. Because I don't know. Some people know this, some people don't. I keep the YouTube content, car content, but another hobby of mine besides cars and signs is like I like thinking about money and investing and stuff, and I like thinking about what's going on in the world. I think that's what leads to like investing because it's like who's going to do good, who's going down, who's coming up. So like I can't be your financial advisor, but if I could make any kind of recommendation for the common man, I would say the S&P 500 index fund or Berkshire Hathaway. That's all I have to say about
That's
that.
been good to me.
Berkshire Hathaway, which you can do your own research on Berkshire Hathaway. I've been to their annual shareholder meetings. It's not like a secret like priesthood thing. Um, Anybody can really go. The public can buy shares of any company that's public. I like Berkshire Hathaway, and I like the S&P 500 index fund because it's just the entire stock market as a whole. But anyway,
Who's Steve Dulcich? That name
Steve
sounds
Dulcich,
familiar.
that's Freiberger's best friend, Dulcich.
Oh, I knew I seen. No, I've never talked to them.
Have you met Puddin or Mortsky? No, I never met them. They live. They're in a part of the country where we really never go. I think Mortsky's in the Dakotas or something.
Uh-huh.
He's close to Canada or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we
And then
never
Puddin's
go.
up in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
He's in Oklahoma.
Yeah, so no, we're never in that area, and I don't. Yeah, I've never met them.
What do you think about electric vehicles? Well, since I worked on electric for 23 years, I always had a feeling there's going to be a problem with people buying a whole lot of them because the batteries. It's not going to be so much the car that's going to quit; it's going to be the cost of the battery. That's what ends up happening with a lot of electric forklifts. The forklift gets to be 7, 8, 9 years old. The battery lasts about 6 or 7 if you're good to it. A battery costs $6,000. Most companies, they depreciate them, and after that, it ain't worth nothing. And most people aren't going to give $20,000 to replace a battery in a car.
Yeah.
And if you try to cut out one battery at a time, it just shortens the life of the rest of them. So,
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think electric cars, they just because something works doesn't mean it's the most efficient thing in the world. So like electric cars do work and they're pretty fascinating, but I think as far as longevity and like everybody moving to electric cars, I don't know if I see it. I just don't think the technology is
60 Cadillac.
there. I mean, I just the way batteries work and all that. I just think that I don't know. I just don't think our future is 100% electric.
Okay, picture this. This is what I asked Travis. Travis and Emily and their newborn baby. They live in L.A. They're driving an electric car. They're coming across the desert. It's 115 degrees. It's trying to run the air conditioner, and it makes it about halfway across. Batteries start going dead because you're not going to be able to roll the windows down and tell your wife and your kid, we can't run the air conditioner because we're going to kill the batteries. So that's just some of it just isn't going to work. How about emergencies in the middle of the night? You got to go out of state, out of 100 miles down the road. I don't know how that's going to work. You're going to have to keep a gas car and an electric car.
Will you ever build a Harley Davidson? I can probably say with confidence no. Unless I just never been into motorcycles. Neither has Dad. The only kind of motorcycles I think are really cool are like the 1930s and before. Like everything from the dawn of the motorcycle all the way up into like the 30s and the 40s I think is really cool. After that, I don't care who makes it or what it is. It's just not interesting to me. Let's see what else. Now we're getting stock information. Warren Buffett's positioning himself in cash. That is a huge signal. Now we're going to talk. Let's talk about money. Yeah. Let's all just get in here and talk about money.
Let's avoid the money.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I know you love old school. I'm building a 60 Caddy.
Oh, that's a beautiful car.
Will look stock on the outside, but it's getting an LS and modern running gear. Thoughts, good or bad? Well, it depends. Putting an LS, like, I would be upset if the whole car was original and complete and you could have put it back on the road and then you took it out and put an LS in it. I'd be like, why did you do that? But if it's already like gutted, then no harm, no foul. It adds to the value. It adds to the drivability.
It
of
does.
It adds to the
You
drivability. You know, it's more reliable. But like if it was gutted or whatever, or if the engine was say blown up, you know, it was like it was a lot. Yeah, lost cause.
waterlogged.
Like, all right, fair enough. But if it was like a good original car, I would be against it. But that's my personal deal.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
If they would have stuck all that money in hydrogen, I mean, if you want to go green, that's about the best thing you could have spewing out your tailpipe is just water, hydrogen.
Indian motorcycles are cool. Yeah, they're cool. Indians are cool. The old Indians and old like the I really like those like crazy brands they had like back at the dawn of motorcycles like what they have a Pierce Arrow or they had Indians and they had Excelsiors and Priests and like all these weird brands of motors. Those are cool.
Those are beautiful.
Those are cool. They almost look like bicycles. You know, motorcycle like bicycle, motor bicycle. I mean, the ones that kind of resemble a bicycle. That's cool. I think I would love to have one of those. Would love to, but I really don't even know what the market is on those. I know they're crazy expensive.
Well, hydrogen, yeah, problem with explosion. But if you think about it, there's a propane tank sitting on the back of every forklift.
That's true.
Pressurized.
There's a pressurized. I mean, explosive.
Obviously, hydrogen has to run at a higher pressure, but I mean, if you look at the back of every forklift, there's a propane tank sitting right there, right out in the open. So what's the difference?
This guy said, "Hey, Dark's oil wells. I think it's Dark's or Drake's. I know. Well, I know Pennsylvania Drake's oil. I think he means Drake oil. Had Drake's oil wells not been discovered here in Pennsylvania, which gave birth to the oil industry, batteries were going to be what powered cars. We alive today wouldn't know much about the gas car. Part of that is true because there are real pictures of cars back at the dawn of the car in the early 1900s. There were electric cars, and I've seen one in the Peterson Automotive Museum. They had electric cars because nobody knew what was going to win out. You know, gasoline was so new. That it was like an unproven technology. So they were experimenting with lots of things to see what was the most efficient. And gas eventually won out, but at the time, nobody knew that it was going to be the winner. So they had electric, but gas ended up winning out just because it was a lot more convenient. And battery technology was not what it is today. I mean, we still use lead acid batteries, but lithium ion is what they use in electric cars. They didn't have that then. I think lithium ion is like a little bit better, but anyway, I still don't think it's like the future. Ask any Chicagoan how they like electric cars in the winter. I'm guessing they don't work real well. But that's the thing. Batteries don't like to work in the super cold and they burn up in the super hot. Like they lose their range and the super heat shortens their life and the super cold makes them not work. But trucks don't like to start in the cold, but if you ever can start a truck in the cold, it'll run just fine. I like how you try and repair things rather than buy new junk. Well, that's our MO. We like to repair everything that we can, mainly because we don't like spending money. I don't like spending money.
Well, if you can figure out a way to do it or get around it, why not? Unless it's so time consuming it doesn't make sense. But no.
Here in NorCal, e-cars have become BMWs of the 80s and 90s. They have their place, but without solar, you either pay Shell Oil or PG&E. Someone out there?
No, I don't know. Let me go look.
Hold on, give me that mic then.
Hold on.
Oh.
I don't know if that was a woodpecker or them guys are putting a roof on over there.
Oh, sounds like someone's out there like beating on a bucket. Found your channel searching for our 58 GMC 100 on YouTube. You were doing a Will It Run. Yeah, people find us from searching all kinds of different things. Recent big battery fire in Sweden. Yeah, sometimes you'll see them electric cars like on the side of the road. They just catch on fire.
Salt water. They don't like salt water. Mix salt water with them. What was it in Phoenix? Their theory was that the cars, they couldn't get them to go out, so they was just going to put them in a dumpster and fill it up with sand. That was the only way to get the fire to go out. How'd you like your car filled up with sand?
Okay. All right, we're back. I think. All right, it's back up. All right. Yeah, we're back. So,
Oh, it's Tracy.
can you, I had to take the mics off. Can you guys hear us all right? Because I'm charging my phone and I can't do the mics and charge at the same time.
Yeah, you might as well take that.
So let me know if you can hear us okay from that distance. Let me get this.
That's an Android phone you're touching there, buddy.
All right, loud and clear. What happened? My phone died, so I had to put it back on. I had to put it on a charger. Okay, are y'all planning to, okay, so, all right, we're good. Are y'all planning to put any merch out? Yeah, I'm trying. I got somebody I'm trying to get some original designs. I don't want to come up with something that looks like,
Hokey?
yeah, hokey and whatever, dumb. So I want an original design, and I got a lady who makes some cool stuff, and I'm trying to get her to make me 3 different designs. I still don't even have a channel logo. We got almost 180,000 subscribers. I don't even have a channel logo. So I'm trying to get like a logo going, trying to get a couple of t-shirt, like one logo and 2 t-shirt designs. So let me know how you guys feel about this, because since you guys are all here, sounds like your mic's in another room. Yeah, the audio's not going to be as good. I don't have my mics hooked up, so my phone's charging. I can't do both at the same time. So, one logo, 2 t-shirt designs, where one is like a popular car on the channel, something like that, and then another one is like diesel related, Cummins related, diesel related. What do you guys think about that? Oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
How could there be no audio?
No.
Sound back? Okay. Yeah, you're back.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. So, like I said, I'm trying to do three designs. One logo, one like car that's popular on the channel, and one design that's like a diesel related, Cummins related. And see, jeez, Thomas, without your dad, I turned you on.
Okay.
Am I that?
You tell him.
Am I that insufferable?
You tell him, Thomas. You tell him.
One guy said, logo on front left breast of shirt and pick on back. Count me in. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. A little logo on the front, a big picture on the back. That's probably the way to go.
I thought about the 46 International. I don't know. I like that truck. That truck is just straight cool. I love that truck. Jeepers Creepers truck. Maybe.
Also, a shirt with you and your pop would be great. That's good. I never thought about that.
I'll kind of stand ahead of you, kind of in front of you a little bit.
Yeah, you should do the 46 International. That one was a popular. That one helped us get on the map on YouTube a lot. You should make a Jeepers Creepers truck. Yeah, make a replica of Rick's shirt. You'll sell the heck out of those. Like the one he's wearing right now, like the work shirt, the striped work shirt.
I like these. I do. I like these.
You know what
shirts.
I should do? I should just sell like the work shirts that we wear with no branding on them. Like I wonder if those would probably sell better than something with a goofy picture on it. Probably. You know, you go through all the work to get a design made, and more people would buy the shirts with no logo on them. I bet you that's how it would go.
Here's the deal: you buy them and you work in them. Don't these shirts? You can spill oil on them, and it'll come out. I don't know what they're made of, but man, they're perfect for it.
Your dad spreads the info. Hint for you. I spread all kinds of info. What are you talking about? This guy's dogging on me. My entire video is telling people what I'm doing. I mean, I'm not gatekeeping anything. I don't gatekeep anything. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Don't get mad now. Don't get mad.
I'm not mad. I don't care.
I come up with all kinds of stuff. I give him a whole list of stuff that should go on shirts. I found that piece of paper later on. I just took it home. Jeeps, no. Every once in a while you run across a Jeep. Not much. They get thrashed pretty hard out here. I mean, by the time you find them, this desert, oh man, you might have a good body, but you don't have anything else left. They tear the snot out of them things out here. They ride them hard.
Let's see.
Additional siblings in the family? No. Nothing. Travis is the only one.
This guy, Bob said, I've heard your dad say a few times, I told you that should be on a shirt. Yeah, it's funny. Plans for extended cab truck? Sorry, I missed it. Well, the plans haven't been revealed yet because I only put part 1 out. I got part 2 in the works. I'm putting it all together, and I mean, it's still going on, you know, so we'll see what happens in this next video. But yeah, if the truck is rougher than I thought, I'll tell you that much. The truck is rougher than I thought.
Oh, it's rough.
I know it's rough, like when you look at it, but it's like rougher than I could even see at face value, really.
Nothing else.
You guys would get along great with Watch Wes work. Yeah, I've seen some of Wes's videos. He kind of moves not real frantic, and I've seen some of his stuff. He's cool. What hair and beard products do you use, Travis? Gotta good slick, or gotta look slick. I don't actually use anything. You know, I don't even shower.
I wouldn't admit it.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's nothing. I don't use anything actually. It's just God-given beauty. What can I say?
Where'd you meet Emily?
Actually, crazy story on that. That's a whole other thing. Back before I did YouTube and I did TikTok, before YouTube actually, and I had like a lot of followers on there. I had like 600,000 followers on TikTok for vintage appliances and, you know, thrift store stuff and whatever vintage stuff that actually wasn't cars. And anyway, I met Emily through TikTok, and
it was a TikTok wedding.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we met through TikTok, but we had a regular wedding. Hi Travis, hi Rick. Are you gonna do anything more to your '56 Caddy? If you mean my white one that you always see in the background, no, that one's like done. It's done. It's been done for years. It just sits there right now. I'm not gonna do it. It does need some like work. The transmission pan leaks real bad, and the starter has always sounded like garbage ever since I had it rebuilt. The starter just sounds bad. It's always sounded bad. I don't know why. And the air conditioner I had working in it, but there's only one hose in the whole system and it blew, so I gotta get that fixed. But I just don't want to mess with it. Do you consider the 24 valves at all? No, I don't consider the 24 valves at all because I don't want to deal with the computer. And I like mechanical injection pumps, mechanical everything. It's just reliable. It's just reliable. That's what I want, reliability. And you can turn them up and do all kinds of crazy stuff with them. Doing like making a bunch of power with a VP44, I think takes a lot more money, and it's just not as budget friendly. It's not as cool. Any more flying drives planned? Yeah, I am planning more flying drives for the summer. Um, yeah, I'm planning them. They're coming. I'm trying, and I'll give you a hint.
What's the hint?
They're diesels.
Oh,
The flying drives are diesels, so
okay.
if you were hoping, well, no, I'm trying to do gassers too, but the ones that I got trying to come up, they're diesels. Do something with old gas pumps on the back of the shirt. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
What's your most valuable gas and oil sign? I don't know.
Emlico.
Yeah, that Amlico I just put up, the one the white and green 18-foot Amlico I just put up with all the lights and stuff. That one's probably my most valuable single most valuable sign, I guess.
Have you ever attempted to do your own alignment? Yeah, I used to do alignments, back in the 80s, and I bought. Yeah, I can align them here at home. It's a little bit harder, but good night. Nothing bad against the mechanics and the garages, but man alive, you can't. They're so booked up, and you got to babysit the car, and you drop the car off, and they leave it sitting outside overnight. No, most of my cars, I don't really want to just leave them unattended overnight, and I get it. They don't want you standing there watching them. I get it. They don't want that, so I just try to keep as much as I can in house. Just do it right here. At least if it's done wrong, I'm only got myself to blame. Don't give your kid a strange name. Kids are brutal. Yeah.
Do logo on the front and picture of gas pump on the rear. Yeah,
I like that.
it'd probably be something like that, where it's like a small logo on the front and a big picture on the back. That's probably how it would be. But when you got logos being designed, you can only do so much. It'd have to be, oh, I could do a truck and a gas pump next to it. That'd be cool. It's not a bad idea. Maybe I could try something like that.
You got your wheels turning.
Maybe it could be like a truck with a gas pump next to it, and then the Amlico in the background. That'd be kind of neat.
There you go.
Roman, what's been going on? It's been a while. Yeah, Roman's been following me for a long time, man. Thanks for all your support. He's good. Yeah, please don't give your kid a strange name. Yeah, I know. That's part of when Emily suggests names, if I can turn it into some slang term, I'm like, we gotta pass, because the kids are gonna figure it out immediately. So it's gotta be something that you can't mess with and something that sounds good, like Allie, Christine. I don't know. I don't know. We're still thinking of names. It's up in the air.
Yes, we will build. Yes, we will rebuild transmissions. No problem there, because there again, there's always this mystique about rebuilding a transmission. Every transmission shop is $2,500 to $3,000, and no, I'm not going to do that. You can buy most of your kits for $500 or $600 or less.
Yeah, I literally just rebuilt the transmission like 3 videos ago for that 650 horsepower Cummins build. Took that thing apart and even rebuilt the valve body and did the clutch packs and the bands and everything. Torque converter, rebuilt the overdrive unit. I mean, you want to talk about a transmission rebuild video? That was it. Transmissions they're pretty cool actually. Pretty interesting pieces of machinery.
Who's that? I'm Sam.
My wife.
I'm Sam Elliott.
I know. My wife watches your channel because I told her your dad was Sam Elliott.
I'm Sam Elliott.
And everybody says that. I mean, every video.
He's cool. Sam Elliott's cool. I'll give him that. Dude's old school cool. You are right that the price of the older cars are coming down, as you can.
Yeah. And I have a whole we have a whole theory on why that is. Like the '50s cars are
Yeah.
coming down. They're not as hot. They're not as hot.
No, when I was first started going to Barrett Jackson's,
Well, for people who don't know, Barrett Jackson's is a televised car auction. Like it's like big, like high end car auction.
in '05 and '06, a lot of the stuff going across the auction block was '50s cars, and obviously it took me a little while to think about it because as the years progressed, obviously a lot of the older guys died off. They weren't interested in him anymore, and so now when you go to Barrett Jackson's, and that's just my opinion. Again, it's kind of boring. All it is Mustangs and Camaros and let's see, Mustangs, Camaros, Chevelles. Um, I like the square bodies. I do like the square bodies, but there's just not a lot of the stuff I'm not interested in. But I get it. It's as the years go by, you buy what you remember. I'm a '70s child. One of my favorite. I like this mid '70s Monte Carlos. They've never caught on, but me personally, I like the '73 to '77. I like those cars. Love them. Matter of fact, I should get one. I'm going to.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I remember even the first few times I went to Barrett Jackson's, there wasn't a '50s car that went across the block that didn't go for 40 grand. You know, if it went for less than 40 grand, it was like, oh man, what's wrong with it? But like, they have a hard time breaking 20. Like a lot of the '50s cars, they beautiful too. They got a hard time breaking 20 or 30 grand. It's crazy, and it's just the age range of interest has shifted up into the '70s and the '80s. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, Haggerty did do a study, and all you gotta do is think of. All you gotta do is think of. I mean, think about it. The guys that are 40, 45 right now. 30 years ago, they were dealing with the early '90s cars. So yeah, I get it. They want the car that they had when they was a kid in high school. I get it. Totally get it. C10s and Blazers, yeah, they bring a lot of money.
Um, I still have stovebolt fever. Man, you should be able to feed that fever really easy because them stove bolts, you can pick them up for nothing. Like the 216s and stuff. That's what stove bolts, right? That's a stove bolt
I
six.
think it is, yeah. I think the
216s.
216s, I think they consider them stone bolts.
You should be able to pick those engines up for dang near nothing. Then they're everywhere. People throw them away before they even put them up for sale.
Yeah, nobody wants them. Unfortunately.
Yeah, getting crazy money for C10s and Blazers. Yeah, I remember even a few years ago, I was 17 or 18. I bought a '77 Chevy pickup for like 400 or 600 bucks. Drove it on the trailer. I brought it home and like tried to fix it up a little, make it quit smoking, and I barely got $1,400 out of that thing. I don't even know if I got 1,500 bucks on that truck. You know, but people are restoring them '70 Chevy trucks now and selling them for like 30, 40 grand or higher. It's crazy.
I remember when the '67, '68 to '72 Chevy pickup trucks, you could pick them up all day long, 500, 600 bucks. I lived in California, and you used to go to the base auctions over there. They were getting rid of all their late '60s Chevy trucks. They were step sides, short beds, 600 bucks all day long. 6-cylinder Chevys, the blue ones. It was in China Lake in Ridgecrest, California. Get rid of them for nothing. Nobody wanted them. You could pick them up for nothing. Not now. Any step side is going for 4 to 5. Most any of them. Short bed, step sides, half tons. No, you can't pick them up cheap no more.
The '70s produced some of the ugliest cars ever. The AMC Pacer, the Ford Maverick. Yeah, I think the 70s for me is where things get a little hazy. I think cars looked good up into the 60s, and then like into the 70s is where it's real hit and miss for me. What looked cool and what was ugly. A lot of ugly and some cool. Some, not a lot. I think the caddies were kind of neat, but other than that, it's like well, the 70s square bodies they're cool, but yeah, it gets real hit and miss in the 70s, and then in the 80s, just forget it.
80s, no.
Forget it. Nothing good came in the 80s for
No.
cars.
Mid 70s, they were still building big, heavy cars, choked down, smog choked. You know, big old 4,000, 4,500 pound car with a 305 in it. You know, it's just like, it really hurt. It really hurt lots of the big three. Really hurt them. The smog choke.
This J.A. Brown said, Rick, I'm probably in the same age range. What do you like working on better, gas or diesel? That's a good question.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me whichever. It doesn't matter to me which one. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. It doesn't matter. To me, the diesels are more reliable. They either run or they don't. And if they don't run right, they're not good. I mean, if they don't run right, they have to run right.
You're not going to fudge it.
You're not going to fudge it. With the gas, you can pretty well get away with murder. You could rebuild a small block in a sandstorm.
Terry said, "Come on, the DeLorean was cool." I'll give you that, but that you got to admit the DeLorean's a one-off thing that never took off. It's cool.
Who's those guys in Pagoda, Texas? They had one.
I don't know their names, but the father and son.
Restored,
Turn and Rust.
Restored, Turn and Rust. They had one. I never did see it no more. And they took that motor apart, and it literally was just rotten.
Oh yeah, they had those engines. I guess were notorious. They had like aluminum intakes that rotted out on top or something like that, and
Yeah, that car there, it was like I never have seen it again. They had it once. It was like probably going to be thousands of dollars to fix it. That was the last time I seen it. Never seen it again.
This dude's name is Waylon Wire. Waylon Wire in the house. Love your show, man. And then his name is Waylon Wire's Old Iron. That is a catchy name. You can turn that into a brand.
Yeah.
Waylon Wire. That's good. I like that. That's a good name. Waylon Wire's Old Iron. That's got a good ring.
Yeah. There's another guy that I met one time. This is honest truth. His name was John Raisin Kane.
John Raisin Kane.
That was his real name. John Kane, middle name was Raisin.
John Raisin Kane. There was another guy. He was on TV once. He's an oil guy in Texas, and his name was T. Boone Pickens, and that's one of the coolest names I've ever heard.
That dude was cool. T. Boone Pickens was cool. I remember him.
Love that name. Pickens. Have you seen my stuff? No, I have not, Waylon. Just seen your name. When it comes to fly and drive, which state do you prefer to fly? Well, I think I answered this earlier. Someone else asked it, but I don't prefer any state necessarily. I don't look for state. I look for other things about the car. It's really the details on the car and where its proximity is to civilization, how remote is it, because, boy, I learned my lesson.
Colorado?
And I was by myself on that one, and it was that fly and drive on that 80 Dodge Power Wagon I did. And the truck was solid, but I was in the middle of nowhere, and that just really, but that ratcheted things up real bad. And so now I won't do a fly and drive where I'm totally remote, you know. I won't do that. It's got to be close to some kind of civilization with hotels and parts stores and stuff, because that was crazy. I didn't show any of that on video, but it was just really rough on me. So I just look for where it's at, location of things, stores, you know,
Weather.
weather's a factor. It just can't be heat. Okay, I can do that, but the cold is not no. But whatever. There's a lot of details that go into a fly and drive. I mean, it's just hard to even explain in a live. Really, there's a lot. Any fly and drive fail? Yeah, the one I'm just talking about right now. The only one that I actually had fail on me was that Dodge Power Wagon, the 70, 80. Was it 80? It was an 80 Dodge Power Wagon. It was the last year for the Power Wagon. That's how I remember it. And it was a failure, but not a failure. It was a failure because I didn't make it home in the truck, but it wasn't a failure because the truck would have made it had I have figured out this insane problem that I've never even heard of, had, seen, or anything. It was a manual, and the clutch was working in the beginning, but as I tried to drive it, the clutch quit working, or it wouldn't engage the transmission like it was slipping. And I couldn't figure out what it was. The clutch looked good, it was operating, it was going back and forth. I could look up in there and see clutch material, everything. And the engine ran, but it would not move the truck. I had to tow it home, but I actually had to take the engine completely out to figure out that mice nest or rat's nest got in the fingers of the clutch, and I guess when I ran it and I hit the clutch in, all of it fell into the fingers, and then it wouldn't release the fingers to let the clutch engage.
And you really couldn't see it.
You could not see it. You could
Honestly,
not see
you
it.
could not. You literally could not see it.
There was hardly any way to diagnose it. I mean, this was such an out of the way problem, you know, that I don't feel bad about towing it home, because if it would have been something I could have caught real easy, I'd have been mad at myself. But that was just so out of the way, I've never even heard of that.
That's the only thing that fire would have helped you.
Yeah. But once I got it home, and in the truck you could never see it. Even if you look in there with a flashlight,
You couldn't
unless
see it.
you knew to pick it out with a pick or something. I don't even know if you could have done that. You couldn't have seen it. There's no way to have seen it.
Question on the Glendale swap meet. I try to go every month to Glendale. That's in Phoenix. Just went last weekend, and yes, I will be going next month, April, May. Yeah, I'll try to go every month.
Raising Cane's is good chicken. Yeah, Raising Cane's is good chicken. Favorite car related movie?
Do we?
What's yours? I don't know. I know what it is.
What?
Smokey and the Bandit.
I love Smokey and the Bandit. I can watch that over and over and over again. I just love it.
Yeah. Smokey and the Bandit's good.
Everything revolves around Smokey and the Bandit.
Christine was really good.
Yeah, Christine was good.
And
the one from 1972 with Ron Howard. You know. You do
from
too.
72?
I think it was made in 72. The night, the one night they all drove.
Oh. Black Cadillac?
No, the one night when they was graduating high school.
Oh, American Graffiti.
Yeah, American Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah, American Graffiti. That was good. And then also another couple of other really good ones was Tucker the Man in His Dream.
Tucker was good.
Tucker the Man in His Dream. That's a really good show. And then Ford the Man in the Machine was a really good one. That's like kind of the movie about Henry Ford. Yeah, Ford the Man in the Machine. Tucker the Man in His Dream. Christine, Smoking the Bandit. Really good shows.
The Car was good. Travis has never watched that. I've seen it. That's a good one.
I know.
That's old. That's out of the 70s, I think.
Two-lane black. I've never seen two-lane blacktop. I've never seen Bullet. Never seen Corvette Summer. Fly and Drive sounds expensive.
Crazy Larry. Let's see. Crazy Mary and Crazy Larry.
Dirty
Mary and Crazy Larry. I watched that over and over and over again back in the 70s.
J.A. Brown said Cars, like the movie Cars. Okay, but that's not the same because that's a whole cartoon. Cars was a good movie, like the Disney Cars with Lightning McQueen.
Oh yeah.
It was a good show.
That was
real good show. I mean, I guess it classifies, but I'm talking. I'm thinking like Cars, like real, like a movie, not an animation. But Cars was a really good movie. I did like that movie. Actually, I was a little kid when it came out. It was the perfect timing. Whenever I have my kid, we're gonna have to watch the old good movies like Cars and The Lion
There's
King.
nothing good
There's
coming out
nothing
of
good.
Hollywood.
There's no good shows. None. They all suck. There's no good shows being made.
I have never seen Hollywood Nights. I never have. I've heard it's very good. That's odd. Never have seen it. I'd like to watch it. Bullet. Never.
Did you ever see that?
No, I never. I don't think I did. I know that sounds crazy, but I never did. Never did see Bullet. Oh, Return to Macon County. Macon County line's good, and Return to Macon County's good. Very good.
What about Used Cars?
That's good. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I never heard
It's
of it.
good. Used Cars is good.
Waylon said, ask Rick if he's familiar with the 60s GMC V12s and GMC V8.
Isn't that the GMC had a V6 in the mid 60s or mid 60s? I forget what the size was. Wasn't it those two motors that they attached together and made them a V12? Pretty sure that was.
Do you have an editor? Yeah, you're looking at him. It's me. Surprise. I don't like editing, but you gotta do it. If you're gonna be a YouTuber, you gotta do it and just eat it. Back to the Future, oh yeah, it's a car movie.
It was good.
Back to the Future was good, but it's probably not in my top, like, personally. Vanishing Point, never have seen that.
I don't think so. What was that name of that one show that you liked so well? Black Cadillac?
Black Cadillac.
Oh,
Now,
that's a killer. That's
a
good one.
There's this show.
That's a good one.
It's not a really well-known movie. I don't even know how I found it. It's called Black Cadillac, and it's about this night where these two dudes get chased up in the mountains by this 57 Cadillac, and it was good too, but no one's ever heard
True
of it.
story.
It's based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
It was crazy. It was a good movie. Black Cadillac. It was good. I bet the editing takes longer than the vehicle rehab. Dude, that's like the unsung. I don't even know. It's like the shit moves, but nobody thinks about the coal miners shoveling the coal in the bottom of the boilers in the Titanic. That's like what YouTube is. You see the videos and everything, and you're like, that's the entertainment. But the shoveling coal at the bottom of the Titanic to keep things moving, that's what editing is. It's a thankless job, but you have to do it.
I've actually seen Sleeper Dude talk about it, and I think he does all his own editing, and the dude works hard.
He's got, with all of his kids and
he's
everything,
got like 3 channels.
And 3 channels? I don't even want a second channel.
I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know how he does edits for all those channels. With his kids and the work he's got to do, I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know.
Not sure.
I don't know. Pink Cadillac, I remember that one with Clint Eastwood. I was a big Clint Eastwood fan. Loved Clint Eastwood.
Have you ever seen Fast and Furious? Yeah, I did. I remember when it came out. Tokyo Drift, that was the best one.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the rest. Flubber, I don't know if that was a car movie. That had that comedian in it that often.
I don't know nothing about Flubber.
Oh man, who was that comedian?
That's about a heavyset person or something. Oh,
Robin
Gran Torino.
Williams.
Good.
Robin Williams. Gran Torino. Fast and Furious is a waste of film. Tokyo Drift was like alright, but I wasn't real invested in the series.
My cousin Vinny, that was good.
Oh yeah.
No, I still have both the El Caminos. I have the blue El Camino. I had it up for sale for a little while. I got kind of frustrated with people, and I'm just that type. And once I get frustrated, it's nobody's fault. You got to put up. I just took it down. So, whatever. It don't matter. I like the car. I like the car. It burnt up all my clothes, so it don't matter if I keep it or not.
Knight Rider. No, I never watched that.
I watched that. That's from my era.
Everything about
You're showing your age.
an old book. Well, I'm 27. You ever think about an old boogie band? Not really. Forrest Gump, that was a good movie, but I don't know if that's got to do with cars. Forrest Gump was classic. Eddie Murphy was in Flover, but no, wasn't Robin Williams in Flover? The original Gone in 60 Seconds.
That you're talking about the original. They smoked a lot of cars in that one. It was pretty good. It was good. That big car stuff in the 70s.
They also smoked a lot of 58 Plymouths and Christine. They
14?
No, it was like 25.
25.
It was like 25, yeah. It's bad. Gumball Rally? I don't know about that one.
Car 54. Now they show that for free that's on YouTube. It's good. Car 54 is good.
Oh, Dukes of Hazzard? Okay.
Oh yeah,
Maybe the original.
I grew up on that, 1979. Yeah, I grew up on that. That was every Friday night at 8 or 9. Now you're getting me. It's 8 or 9 o'clock every Friday night, 1979. Winnipeg, Canada. I guess it's cold up there. I watch Cold War Motors. It's cold up there.
Which car racing series you like? Car race? What do you mean, like a TV show? Car racing series?
No, I think it's kind
like
of fun.
YouTube?
No, car racing like
series.
No.
Like NASCAR?
Yeah, NASCAR. I don't want. I honestly, you'd think I would. I don't. I just love cars. Racing, I never did get into it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, going fast isn't really like our MO.
We don't have anything that goes
We
fast.
don't have nothing that goes over.
All you gotta do is go look at the Travis's drag video. That's about how fast we go.
Yeah, when I went to the duct tape drags last year, I took that Cummins swapped Ford dually crew cab and I did a 26-second quarter mile. It's probably the slowest guy there. But I don't watch drag racing or NASCAR or whatever, Indy 500 or anything like that. I just don't, dude.
I grew up on Speed Racer. Somebody said something, and I also grew up on I loved Convoy. That was good. Chris Christopherson. That was good. Grew up on that. You're showing your age. I guess that's getting to the end.
The end? I don't think so.
Oh no.
No, people still there.
Okay.
If you guys want to ask anything else, go ahead. Shoot away anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, if we don't know the answer, we'll make something up.
Yeah, if we don't know the answer, we'll lie.
I'll just pack you full of mud. Oh, great channel, but gotta go. Do you think I watched the tube all day? No, you're probably out there working. You're out there working. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Just want to thank you guys for bringing the old vehicles back. Yours is the only channel I watch beginning to end. Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate that because, speaks to, it's hard to edit them, so it's good to know that I'm editing them good enough for people to want to watch to the end. So thank you.
Daily driver for me. I built a 1980 Volkswagen diesel for fuel mileage. So that's what I drive. I usually drive through Cummins, but for all the running around I do here in Tucson, it's just like tons of running around, and that truck, even at 20 miles a gallon, it was still getting me. So I just built a Volkswagen diesel. That's what I drive.
I daily a first gen, a 90 Cummins. It's That's what I drive. It's for my daily. Have you had your dream cars yet? If not, which cars are you still chasing? I don't know. Dream car?
I want a 1973 Monte Carlo Burgundy with dual Landau seats with a big block in it. And I want all the gauges. That's what I want.
I'd still like to have a 59 Caddy. I'd still like to have a 59 Caddy.
A few beginner project cars that you would recommend. Buy something, anything Chevrolets. I mean, I know there's controversy, but I'm gonna tell you something. They're easier to buy parts for, and a lot you can any Chevrolet, man, you can slam them. You can. There's a small block Chevy on Facebook right now for $200. It's fan through flywheel. It's a runner. I mean, you can get motors and trannies pretty cheap. So that's cheapest, one of the cheapest cars. If you're just starting out, easy to get stuff for, not a problem. What is the too much mileage on a 12 valve?
Man,
there
sky's
is
the
none.
limit.
There
if
is
it's
none.
been taken care of, the sky's the limit. There's a guy who's got a nice looking truck for sale right now on Facebook. It's a second gen, and I'm telling you, the truck looked nice. I was looking through the pictures, and I'm like, this is a clean truck. 700,000 miles on the odometer.
They won't stop. They won't quit. If you keep the oil changed in them, it's not uncommon to see them hit 1,000,000. I've seen construction guys hit. They just the truck falls down around them, but the motor don't quit.
Is there a good source of 60 C10 parts in Tucson? I'm gonna tell you right now, Tucson's a bad place to try and get stuff because nobody knows anything, no one's got anything. The best place to get parts like that, like if you need hard parts from a truck, is Desert Valley Auto Parts in Casa Grande. They have thousands of vehicles. I mean thousands.
And they'll let you walk through.
Yeah, and they let you walk through the yard. You know, it's the biggest junkyard, real one in Arizona. Definitely.
Yeah, Desert Valley is like for a car guy going to Disneyland. Yeah, that's the only comparison I can tell you. You're just like a 7-8-year-old kid that's going to Disneyland. That's how fun. It's fun. It's just straight fun. Hours disappear like minutes.
For Rick, what's your favorite muscle car? Also, do you agree that Kragers and white letters are the best combo ever?
Me personally, I do like Kragers. That was on my first Monte Carlo. I had a '74 Monte Carlo. That was my first car. It had Kragers on it, and it had white letter tires. Yeah, but that's me. That's just me. I still like white letter tires. Like white walls too.
Yeah, white walls. That's what I like. When I met my wife, she had a '76 Monte Carlo. It was great. She traded it out for a Mustang too. Mustang was a piece of junk. Well, it's because she traded a dang Chevy for a Mustang. Let's see. Elijah said, "How about a V-body Mopar?"
The story's out on them. They're too expensive.
Too expensive. They're too expensive.
And that's fine.
You know, they're not around and they're too expensive, and I'm not really a Chrysler dude. I'm just not a Chrysler guy. I mean, Dylan McCool, that's his channel. You like Mopar and Chrysler? Like Dylan McCool is all. I don't even think he works on anything else. Everything on his channel is Mopar, Chrysler. Like Dodge. There is nothing else. So he's the Mopar man. But meh. I'm personally summer. I drive a Dodge Cummins. That's a Mopar, but really it's more like Cummins. But I'm in the group. I'm in that group. Just went to Desert Valley. Got a hood for my '66.
And I'll bet you paid for it.
Oh yeah. Desert Valley, didn't they have a car rebuild show on TV? Yeah, they did. They did. Was it the same one? It was a different location, but it was the same company, wasn't it? Desert Valley, DVAT. They had a rebuild channel on television.
That was the one place in Phoenix.
That was the location in
That
Phoenix.
was the place in Phoenix. The guy Nicky that was in that one, he runs the one in Casa Grande. Nicky.
Chrysler is garbage. Sorry. Some Chryslers were alright, but on like this, I'm gonna just tell you from the scale of sellability. All right, this has just been my experience. I've sold all kinds of cars, all kinds. I've sold Chevys, I've sold Fords, I've sold Chryslers. Um, Chevys sell the fastest. If I have a Ford up for sale, it sells a little slower. And if I have a Chrysler up for sale, or a Dodge pickup, or a Chrysler of any kind, I have to fight tooth and nail to sell it to anybody. I'm just telling you how that works. It's just been my experience. That I had a car on the channel. It wasn't very desirable, but it had a 383 in it, and it was a good car. It was that Chrysler Newport, that '69 Chrysler Newport that I went to the Grand Canyon in, and that car ran and drove and stopped, and the engine ran great, and the tranny shifted, and all that stuff, and I I had to kill to get $2,500 out of that car with brand new tires and brand new brakes and ran and drove and stopped, had a title, everything. I
give it away.
couldn't give it away. Oh man.
Hello in Germany. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate you being up this late watching.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, that's just my experience.
I've often wondered about that. I guess that's with the price exchange. If you live out of the country, I've heard of some of the guys up in Canada having to buy stuff from here and get it up there. I would say it is a hassle. I'd say it's very expensive. You must really want to do it if you're going to get it. 2 Honda CT70s.
I'm finding economically viable cars to fix hard to find. How do you guys see your prospects for the near future for finding good cars to fix and sell?
It's hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this life to anybody. If you're just trying to make a living buying, selling, and fixing cars, you're going to have a rough life. Even if you want to just be a mechanic. Like, being a mechanic is hard.
You're always being a mechanic. You're always one misunderstanding away from not having a job.
Yeah, it's a grind. You got to grind it out. That's all I can say. Is just got to grind it out. You know, it's a hard, like, making a living being a mechanic or fixing things is like, it's tough. But yeah.
You know what's funny about a lot? There's guys up in Canada, Cold War Motors. You know, it's kind of odd that he'll drag up some cars that are in really, really good shape that's been sitting outside. There's something different. I don't know. It's something different up there. A lot of the cars I see him drag up are not in that bad a shape up in Canada. That's funny. I've asked Travis that a lot. What percentage of the people are in the U.S. and out of the U.S.? It was kind of interesting. We did a first start on a Volkswagen, and I didn't realize that there was a lot of guys from Europe that made a lot of comments on those cars, on the Volkswagen, I didn't know that, and I do appreciate that. Watching from out of the country, I appreciate that. I thank you. Any more flying drives and pops coming soon?
Probably in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer when it's warmer.
What percentage of your audience is in the U.S.? Mine is like 60 to 70% is in the U.S. I think it's actually I think it's higher than that, but what YouTube tells me is it's like 60 or 70% is in the U.S. and then there's like some in the UK and Australia, some Germany, and then like small percentages in India, Brazil, Argentina, and things like that. But it's like U.S., I think Australia or the UK is second, and then it's like Germany or something like that.
Duel was good. Somebody made a comment on Duel. It was good. Terry.
That's why Canadian car guys want to be America's 51st state to save on car prices.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
How do Canadian? I want to know how Canadians feel about
Be careful.
The idea of being the 51st state.
It'd be nice.
Just because it's been floating around, you know, like it's funny.
Canada's a beautiful country.
Dude, Canada's undiscovered, and most of the whole place is like
it's wide open.
Wide open.
I love wide open.
Wide open.
It'd be nice just to go up to the border and just go right in.
But also, anyone, you guys, everybody watched the Dodge fly and drive. You guys should watch the Pontiac fly and drive. I'm not sure how many of you have seen that yet, but you guys should definitely go watch it. That's a channel classic.
Oh, Canada's not wide open. See, I don't know.
Canada's not wide open west of the Rockies. Well, let's see. The Rockies. Yeah, but generally Canada is wide open. If you look at a map of Canada, there's a lot of open space. It's just like in the middle of America, like the majority of people live on the east and in the west. And there's a whole section in the middle where there's not a lot of people.
Doesn't DD, he lives up on the west? He lives on the west side of Canada. He moved over there to that side. He's a nice guy. We'll go to Newfoundland.
Would you consider buying a tractor to fix and sell a 50 Ferguson? Tractors are weird because they just ain't worth a lot. Like, tractors, cool for a first start, but like, they're like $2,500 max.
I bought one. I never got rid of it because you couldn't use it for nothing.
They're cool to look at, but they're just not good for much. Yeah, other than yard art. And if people want them for yard art, which is what people mostly want them for, they just won't give nothing for them.
I appreciate that. And the best thing to do is just stay cool and calm. It doesn't do any good but get your blood pressure up. Everything is what it is. You just deal with it.
Let's see, great channel and content. Like your approach to repairs. Thank you. Thank you. How do you know part interchangeability between car models? Is there websites you use? No, there's no websites. We just know it from working on stuff, you know. Dad knows from working on stuff over the years, and it's just knowledge, you know. Sometimes you ask people, but there's no website, you know. And it's just like you work on, say, Cummins long enough, like these diesels, I started working on those, and you just figure it out. You're like, oh, this is the same door for 20 years. This is the same door for 6 years. The same cab. And the forums, I'm telling you, forums. Yeah, actually there is a website like Cummins forums, you know, or like whatever you're into forum, you know, the car you're interested in, whatever forum that website's on, the forums are great.
Yeah, I know about Queen Creek. That's more around Phoenix.
Yeah, Queen Creek, we're familiar with that area.
I did go to a tech school for 2 years. I went to tech school. That was in the 80s, and then I worked on stuff ever since. Never stopped. Never stopped. Old school in Palace. Love the old school in Palace.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, the Impalas are great. Those are hard to find too. They're all so many of them are snapped up by guys in SoCal and LA and San Diego and a lot of people in Japan like those cars, believe it or not. There's a lowrider community in Japan, and they like those Impalas. And there's been a lot of they're very discovered. A lot of people like them, and they got a cool look. You know, the Impalas look good.
I had an early '60s Impala. I was looking for parts. Dude over in LA had some parts for sale. I called him on the phone. He seen that I didn't live there. He was very nice. He was very nice to me. He just straight up told me. He said, "Dude, you're wasting your time looking for stuff over here. We're looking for stuff over there." He gave me a good schooling. Give me a real good schooling. He said, "We're looking for stuff over there. You're wasting your time looking for stuff over here." And I said, "Okay, I get it." And he's telling the truth, I guess.
What has to be? We'll answer probably like another question or two, and then we'll probably go because
Yeah.
we still got dinner stuff. So what has to be your favorite oil and gas piece you guys got?
May West
Yeah,
gas pumps.
Dad's got a pretty cool May West gas pump, which is really cool. And then
5 gallon.
yeah. And I don't know what my favorite piece is. I love my pole signs. It's hard to pick. I really like my pole signs. They're just big. I like doing it big. I got like a couple of lollipop signs. I got this pen coil lollipop sign that's about 5 feet tall. It's like a 30-inch sign. It's got bullet holes in it, and it's definitely from the 1920s. That's a cool sign. I really like that one.
That's it.
Yeah. Alright guys, well this has been fun. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the beginning, and
I wanted to say something real quick. I think there's a lot of people that sent Travis stuff, and we tend to always. A lot of people are guilty of tending to look at the bad side of stuff. There's a lot of good people out there, a lot of good people, and I think anybody that has helped Travis, did anything for him, sent diapers in the mail, I thank you for that. I thank you very much. And that's from me. Thank you.
And we're gonna be making as stuff comes in, like that we check our PO box because we put the registry in the description of a video, and as we get stuff, we're gonna be sending out personal thank you cards. So I am thanking you now. People have sent diapers and wipes, and I do appreciate it. But we're gonna be sending out actual thank you cards. So yes, it's not going unnoticed for sure.
So,
But anyway, with that, guys, this was good. We don't have a schedule for lives. We just do them when we kind of have some time. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video.
thank you guys.